very clearly. And I'm very grateful for that. And I cannot stop thanking the USA for that, because they have now demonstrated once again that they are the conscience of the world. This is something we had expected the EU to do, is belatedly Britain now tagged on, and they won't even enforce it. Forget what Britain said, oh, we will deny visa to those who perpetrate election fraud and violence. Britain will not enforce it. We know that US will, because their legal system in the USA is far more rigorous than you have in the UK. Forget about the UK war. The people that actually turned the tide in Edo, the woman who did it is the US ambassador to the Zoological Republic, and we commend her for that. Thank you very much. And on top of that, they said it was Vanguard that published this. Vanguard said it's breaking. Buhari congratulates Obaseki, commends electoral process. These are the same bunch of idiots who put the Hope Uzodinma in power. A criminal that came forth, they put him in power. Now he is commending the electoral process. I want people to understand that this is what they do. This is the way they operate. They fall on a janjaweed. This is their mindset. They come to your house and they steal 100 naira from you. And when you complain too much, they give you 10 kobo back in return. Some of you, the Indomie generation, you won't know what 10 kobo looks like. 10 kobo is the single unit of the zoo currency. Naira is the bigger one, in hundreds, and then you have in tens, so to speak, because you have 10 naira, 20 naira, but you also have 1 kobo, 2 kobo, 3 kobo, 4 kobo. I think you even have you have 1 kobo, you have 5, you have 10, you have 25. I don't know. Maybe it goes up to 100 kobo. I don't know if they have it or not. I don't think they do. What they have now is 1 naira, isn't it? These are the things I need you to understand. Fulani will come to your house and steal your 100 naira in front of you. You'll be complaining and shouting. And then they will give you 10 kobo back in return. And when you say, oh, how about the rest of the money? Your neighbor will now come up and say, no, don't worry. Why are you complaining? After all, you have 10 kobo. Why are you complaining? Me, I have nothing. That is exactly what I've done with Edo State. They want to give the impression to the world that they can run a free and fair election, and that is the narrative they will run with tomorrow and all throughout the coming days of this very week. So if you're foolish enough, if you're not schooled enough, if you're not intelligent enough, you will think that somehow INEC has changed. There is now a new era of transparent and should I say, vote casting process. Of course it is not. You know it isn't. They only made it possible for Obaseki to win because USA said if you rig election, you're not going anywhere. Because the Kogi State governor, they've already banned him already. Kogi State governor, they've banned him. Now, what I'm saying is that if the US and to an extent the UK, if you know that these people got into power illegitimately by rigging election, why are you according them recognition? Most of them were banned as a result of the 2019 elections. That means that if you're banning somebody for electoral fraud, implicit in that ban is that that person is guilty of committing electoral fraud. And anybody emerging as a result of an electoral system that is not transparent, that is not very clear, you cannot confer legitimacy on such a person or institution. If you have banned Kogi State governor from traveling to the US for committing electoral fraud, that means his office, the office is holding is illegitimate. That's what by implication. Now, if that is the case, all those that helped in the rigging of a mask wearer, Jubril, then into power, and they have now been banned from traveling to the USA. That means that the government of all these Fulani cabal in Asorok is illegitimate. And they said, Buhari said, oh, but according to that very news, the president's spokesman, Garuba Shehu, in a tweet on Sunday said, Buhari also commended the people of Edo State, the parties, candidates, and security agencies for conducting themselves responsibly. Can you believe that in 21st century? 21st century. They are celebrating Edo as if it's their own making, as if all of a sudden, Fulani Janjaweed have decided that there should be free and fair elections. Do you see how when I don't want to go too hard on black people today, because somebody wrote to me and said that the children are listening, and sometimes they weep and they cry when I say things that I say about black people. And I'm saying it's not for those children, because they are going to grow up very intelligent, very smart, and very discerning. They are not going to be as useless as this very generation that we have now. But heaven forbid, no, they won't be that way. What I'm trying to say is that some of you will now go about jubilating and, toasting this very victory of Obaseki to mean that, somehow that democracy have now turned the corner in the zoo. Of course, it's a lie. As I said, remember, somebody came to your house and stole 100 naira from you. You shouted and you screamed and he gave you back 10 kobo, not 1 naira, 10 kobo in return. And you're saying he has done well. Nobody in their right sense or in their right mind should reason that way. He said, the president added, I have consistently advocated for free and fair elections in the country because it is the bedrock of true democratic. Of course, you saw people being disenfranchised. All of you were there when results were trickling in and INEC was changing it. They were announcing the results and the article was winning, and all of a sudden there was a break, there was a pause. And once they paused, you're finished. I think they paused also in Edo, until somebody reminded them that America will ban us. So if you don't consider Canton, America, there's a visa ban. I have a house in the US and I want to go there. I want to visit United States of America. That was what happened. So before you begin to clap for yourselves, you've done nothing. The person that saved Edo State is the American, the US ambassador in Abuja. That woman made it possible. So you get your facts right. And of course, we are not going to downplay the tenacity of Obaseki himself and also what the role that Wike played. And I think there was one other governor also, a Yoruba governor that was there also that did very, very well, that stood firm and said, no, this is not going to happen. And for those of you that managed, I don't know how they made it possible, somehow they managed to convince INEC that the results should be transmitted in real time and to a portal online, so it won't be rigged. So from polling station, a portal online is making it very clear what the returns are on those polling units. So they couldn't rig it. But we are waiting for aeroplane turner. Maybe aeroplane turner. If you go to Supreme Court, and those bunch of idiots with their horse wig, speaking Latin jargon, will tell you that that INEC failed to collect results from Iye Izamu stronghold. And as a result, the number of votes cast will now outnumber those registered with INEC as eligible voters. Do you now understand it? Do you now understand it? These are the things that people don't know about, that it is our responsibility and our duty to bring it to the attention of the world, that this is what is happening in the zoo, so that some of you don't go jumping up and down and celebrating, because I don't celebrate. A zoo is always a zoo. A zoo will always remain a zoo unless you rise up as we are doing to try to change it. Look at the people who are now telling you that somehow they now believe in free and fair elections, that democracy is good for everybody. It is the bedrock and all that rubbish. Look at the jargon from Fulani. Now, let me give you an example. There is a controversy ongoing about the appointment of 7 northerners into management, now I wouldn't say northerners, I would say Fulani, into key management positions in customs, that is in the south. Why I'm raising this is because if tomorrow now America says that there is no federal character in the federal appointments under this regime, they will change. Or maybe appoint 1 or 2 southerners into positions. They'll tell you, oh, can't you see we have changed? Unless America rises up now to say that you must adhere to the federal character upon which all the constitutional stipulates regarding the filling of positions at least are equally rationed across the board, they will do nothing about it. I'm just trying to tell you, these are people that are telling you, oh, all of a sudden today, because they don't want their visa to America to be cancelled, All of a sudden, they allow the Dole people to speak their mind. And if you allow free and fair elections, nobody of a sound mind can ever vote for APC. Nobody with their correct senses in their skull can ever vote for APC. They know that very well. Maritime stakeholders, including a veteran journalist, Elder Asu Beggs, have criticized the latest appointment of 2 acting deputy controllers general and 5 acting assistant controller general of customs into management positions of the service by the controller general, Colonel Hamid Ali Fulani. And who are the people he appointed? Who are the people that he appointed into these positions? And from those he appointed into these positions, you will know what their plan is. Fulani has to be everywhere. That is the proper news you should be focusing on. Don't allow them to use a Edo State to deflect your mind or to divert your mind. The issue is him. Now listen. Somebody called Saidu Galadima, Oba Mohammed, Hamza Gumi, Usman Dakingari, all northerners, all Fulani, holds because they are important.